Hi there, this is Look for the Truth. Today I want to talk about the reasons. I want to get people's feedback. If you're someone who believes in global warming or somebody who believes in evolution or perhaps is an atheist, I really would like to hear your response because it really boggles my mind how easily and quickly we are so desirous to believe anything but God. It is mind boggling to me why, when the truth hits us right in the face, we try to talk around it. But then, when something we desire to believe, no matter how silly it sounds, we will hold on to it for our lives and we will run with it. Why is that? Why, when the facts come before you, all the other videos that I've made about all the prophecies fulfilled by Christ and in the Bible, all the historical relevance of the Bible, what happens when you look at the Bible objectively and without preconceived notions, and all those things that the Bible has to do and what God has done for us, and why we are so willing to turn a blind eye to those things when really they are airtight arguments and airtight proof for the living God. I mean, I'm just going to give you a few examples of um, false prophecies made just by global warming. I mean, in evolution, it's pretty well accepted now that as far as evolution goes, there's so many gaps in evolution. It really is a religion. It's actually a registered religion, I believe, at this point. And it's losing a lot of weight. But yet in the universities, they want to hold on to dear life. Um, when uh, when Dr. Schweitzer found the T Rex bone marrow in Alaska, basically proving that the dinosaurs and that T Rex certainly did not live 65 million years ago and had to have lived less than 5,000 years ago, the scientists would rise up and would even deny the very information in their face. They would deny that this stuff could be true, and you could actually look at those dragons and dinosaurs videos posted on my channel um, that have a lot of that information on there. I definitely think you should check those out because it just shows how asinine things like evolution are and how willing we are to hold on to those things because they don't have any implications. You know what they do? If all of those things are true, then we are God, right? We then are the rulers of our lives if those things are true. We have the ability to do whatever it is that we want with nobody to judge us if that is the way it is. But the reality is that is not the truth. And if we would look objectively at things, we can see. I'm going to read a few global warming predictions. I mean, so many of you believe in global warming, and to me, it's just folly to believe in something like that. Something the Bible speaks about the way you tell a false prophet is very simple. It's somebody who gives false prophecy. Well, the Bible has no false prophecies, and these global warming people and evolutionists have tons of false prophecies. I'm just going to give you some of the real insane ones that are just so blatant and bold. Here's one example. Uh, One guy said 10 years ago, he said, within a few years, children just aren't going to know what snow is. Snowfall will be a very rare and exciting event, and that was Dr. Viner, senior research scientist at Climatic Research Unit of the University of East Anglia. This is like the top place in the world for global warming, and he said that there would not even be snow, and that was 10 years ago. And we've had more snowfall. I know London, where he lives, had more snowfall than it did in 20 years in 2009. So there's just one false prophecy. Another guy said by 1995 the greenhouse effect would be desolating the heartlands of North America and Eurasia with the horrific drought causing crop failures and food riots. By 1996, the Platte River of Nebraska would be dry, while a continent-wide black blizzard of prairie topsoil will stop traffic on the interstate, strip paint from houses, and shut down computers. That's Michael Oppenheimer, and that was published in 1990. And yet, we are willing to believe what these people say. I mean, if they're willing, and mind you, if you read on and you can get this information. I'm just reading it. This was foxnews.com/sci-tech/2010, and if you just go on there, it's these men's quotes, And when they're interviewed, they just make excuses for false predictions. But they're false predictions, and they take no responsibility. And yet we are willing to believe them, and yet we are willing to still grant them credibility. And we won't give God credibility, we won't give the Bible credibility. We will judge the Bible by other men. But these are the gods of global warming. These are the men who write the words. These are the men who make the predictions. I mean, if in the book of Isaiah there was a false prophecy done by Isaiah, I couldn't sit here and explain that away. But there are none. And I challenge you to give the Bible the same, care, love, the same open heart that you give to these global warming fanatics who make stuff up and get away with it. Here's another one. Arctic specialist Bernd Belkin says a general warming trend over the North Pole is melting the polar ice cap and may produce an ice-free Arctic Ocean by the year 2000. Well, I think there's plenty of ice in the Arctic now, just about more than ever. Very little, if any, has melted, and it's really nothing that unusual. I mean, they try to make a big deal out of all these different things. If it's cold, it's global warming. If it's hot, it's global warming. And they like to think that they can have it both ways, but if you sit back and you look at the things that they say, they're false. But if you sit back and you look at the Bible the way that you're not willing to look at them, you will see that it is the truth. I challenge you to take the same perspective, same landscape, same vantage point, I should say, that you would at global warming and evolution as you would at the Bible, and the Bible would blow them away. Another one, it says, by 1995, air pollution will have reduced the amount of sunlight reaching the Earth by 1/2. And that was January 1970. By 1/2? They said we'd have 1/2 the sunlight. And actually, since 1970, air quality is up. So, I mean, it's really just amazing that so many people are willing to believe all these lies. Please look for the truth. It's right in front of your face. Here's another one. If present trends continue, the world will be 11 degrees colder by the year 2000. This is about twice what it would take to put us in an ice age, and that's Kenneth E.F. Watt on Earth Day in 1970. So, according to him, we should be in the middle of an ice age right now. When, I mean, reality is we're in normal trends. It's nothing crazy that's going on. Sure, we have a natural disaster here. We have a little bit of snow there, but that's nothing uncharacteristic of the trends of the world that we have recorded. But then they make a big deal out of it, and then they try to get you to change and try to get you to freak out. I mean, they are religious fanatics for this stuff. Another guy said by the year 2000, the United Kingdom will be simply a small group of impoverished islands inhabited by some 70 million hungry people. He goes on to say, if I were a gambler, I would take even money that England would not exist by the year 2000. And that's Ulrich's speech at the British Institute for Biology in September of 1971. Well, obviously he was wrong, but then they explain it away. Then he even says, in 10 years, all important animal life in the sea will be extinct. Large areas of coastline will have to be evacuated because of the stench of dead fish. Same guy, speech during Earth Day a year earlier in 1970. This is one of the top guys at Stanford for global warming. One of the top scientists that we rely on for weather and for their information and weather predictions. How is it possible? How is it possible that somebody who is constantly wrong, making false predictions, outlandish claims that have been proven wrong over years and years and years, and yet, if he was to come out with another prediction today, he'd be hailed as a prophet as he was back then. But yet, we look at the Bible, and we allow the Bible to be looked at as old history, folly, something that couldn't possibly be true when it's never been proven false. So what I'm going to do is I want to challenge you to prove the Bible wrong, prove prophecies false and contradictory, and prove that it's archaeologically ineffective, unreasonable, and holds no water. I pray that you look for the truth and seek God, because God is seeking you. God bless you, and you have a good day.